Okay, so here is this is a video from back whenever the beta was first released. This is according to this video, this is January. Now, this is like that very, very, very first one whenever they were trying to get everybody to test it and they gave you like a weekend or it was a very short period of time. I don't remember exactly what it was. But this I don't need the audio here. Anyway, so hey, cut it out. So this is what the game ended up looking like for me. This was with a Ryzen 5600X, and I was using a the 6600, not the fancy one, but just the regular old 6600 graphics card. And you can see it's all messed up, right? So and you can see the beta version at the very bottom. It wasn't. I actually had it playable, and then at one point it just did this weirdness, and I don't know why it did it. And that person has no legs even; they're just kind of floating around. This person's got little triangle legs. I don't get it. But anyway, so I had this. Let's see here. I had it just somewhere around here. Ah, yeah. So over here I changed it, and you can see that I had it on, come on, click on it. Oh, I was having trouble clicking on stuff because it was going so slow. But look right here, 1280 by 720. That's the lowest setting that you can get um, on this game right now. So the only thing that really stayed the same was the RAM that I have and that's pretty much it. And the TV. So I was using the TV right there. That's the 4K TV. But that is 1280 by 720. And then I tried to change it up to just the 4K, which is that one right there. And then you could I wish I had saved the CPU or been able to have an overlay, but I didn't know what I was doing. So right here you can see that the VRAM usage is 9.93. That old card only had 8 gigs. And you can see that Monster Hunter is using 7.5. Um, to me, whenever I first tested it, I thought, well, okay, if I get a card that's going to be able to do at least twice that, then I'll be in good condition. So that's what I ended up making my decision on what I needed. And you can see here that finally it get in, and then it just obviously an 8 gig card isn't going to work very well. I had a lot of problems playing with it. So the first thing I did was I upgraded the CPU. I went from a 5600 to this one here, which was the 5700X3D. And I did this test. That's the old driver here. This was the old one. So I did this one. I believe this do I have a date on here? No, I don't have the date on here. But I think this was in February when I did this one. But you can see I was getting, according to their little test thing, 51 frames per second at 1440. So that wasn't the highest resolution of 4K. And you can see my old 6600 right there, my 5700 that I upgraded, still using that 32 gigs of RAM. And over here is the interesting part. Now you can see right here the CPU usage. That's still pretty high. So I got the 4050 megahertz. The RAM, that's the 30 out of 32 gigs. That's what I'm using right there. And then your GPU, you can see I'm using 99% of that. And I'm using almost the entire thing. And now that clip right there is the way that it's functioning on this screen. That is not like the overall game performance. That is just this screen that is taking that much. So a screen is literally taking just under half of the CPU just to sit on a screen. So I was like, man, that's pretty rough. But I after all these updates, because this thing, man, I got this what in April, sometime around there, and I thought, well, it was running kind of like that, and I was actually running it at 1440 recently, and this is we're on what the 20th right now. So I decided, okay, I'm going to run this benchmark again. This is no, they changed the color. Now it's fancy. It took me some time to get the new shaders. Obviously, I got the new card and I got the new driver, but I got the same exact CPU, running it on the same lowest settings. I got better frame rate. I got almost double the frame rate. However, check this out. Over here, look at that. 82. That is insane. This is just for this thing to sit right here and look over here. It's in the 40s. So I can set these side by side. Oh, I can zoom in here, drag that, and you can see that's the old one. This was, I'll get the exact date in a moment. And then this is the new. Mark Veld's very angry about it as well. Look at that. The old on the left and the new on the right. They've done something to the CPU. You can see the GPU here. This is a 6600, obviously, but because the wattage is at 99. I mean, my wattage now, obviously more, and the memory, I'm not using a full graphics card. I mean, look, it's at 61%. The RAM usage is also more. So my old, even it's the exact same RAM. I haven't changed that. I haven't upgraded it. 18 to 21. I mean, obviously my FPS got better, but it doesn't matter because look at this. I mean, my highest over here is what, 51%? And I got 84% now? That's crazy. Even like the CPU frequency is the same. Obviously, that's not going to change too much, but look at that. Goes from this to that. Now, I know I got it somewhere in here that where is? Oh yeah, so here's the files. So I got that one here. This was done, yeah, February 5th. That's when I took this one, and that is just today, August 20. So instead of getting better with their CPU usage and optimization stuff, this thing has actually gotten significantly worse. And I knew it because I knew the radiator fans were just turning super fast and I couldn't figure it out. And I would close it and I'm looking at my CPU usage down here and I'd turn it off and then it would be a lot hotter than I was used to seeing it. So I knew something was going on, but I don't play with the overlay all the time. I just knew that, hey, something sounds different. Something seems different in this. And then the rendering wasn't great. Like even whenever I come into here, come on. Even when I start to load a game, the rendering, you would expect the render that to get better over time. It was never great to begin with. because it would always have some sort of issue. And right now I've sort of changed the actual settings to get better frames, and I've added frame generation, and I'm trying to protect my CPU because this thing is actually incredibly rough on that CPU. But even with me trying to change everything and get it right, it's still so rough. That's right. Let's see here. Usually, whenever you walk out, you'll see all these things just kind of popping up. I didn't do this time. I have it. Either way, we just start out. And you watch the ground and watch the people in the background, and you'll see how much this has changed. Like you'll see the ground and stuff. Watch the ground and watch like the buildings and stuff. You'll see these things just kind of move around. See it? All this stuff just loads. And then look at my CPUs, it's way up there. And I actually tried to tone this down. That's me taking everything and trying to just minimize it so that it has as little CPU impact as possible. And that's as best I could come up with. And it's still super high. Look at that. That's crazy. It hasn't been like that in a long time. I was getting like 150 frames per second. Now the best I can do is that right there, like that 100, 109, 120. And that was with frame generation. I could generate frames higher, but I just can't do that anymore. It doesn't work. And then if I can go to a different place, let's see, where's a good example. Sometimes if I can go to the Grand, this girl at the quest counter, she'll render without clothes on, and it's like this weird wireframe. I don't know if it'll do it this time. We'll see if it happens. You watch the people at the counter. It should put me right in front of the counter. Oh. There they go. See how it all just kind of fluctuates? And look, my CPU usage is still pretty high. I haven't done anything. And that's the best I can get it. Terrible. They've changed something and it went off. Yeah, even I come back, like if I have this guy out of frame, like watch this guy right here. It's the guy that I'm standing next to. Watch the guy's armor. See it? Comes out of frame. There it is. What's with that? I guess it was long enough to be out. And the book, obviously. Everything's just gotten so much worse. So bizarre. I don't know. They're just trash. As far as I can tell, they're just like dropping the ball. It's pretty significant. Disappointing. Had such high hopes for this game, and it just kind of falls apart.
Yotem Yojun Afeti. Lucatilu.
Other things are pretty sharply defined, but in general, it's just having so much trouble. And you see all those buildings in the background there change? I don't know if it'll do it again. There they go. Like, oh, the buildings, they were gone, and now they're back. But it's so slow. And you can see the buildings very, very far here, there in the distance. They're just squares. I think they're supposed to be, some of those are supposed to be squares, but not all of them. This guy's got such neat stuff, but so irritating. Look at that, there's more shadow down there. The detail in this is just so cool. Maybe that's what's causing the CPU usage to be so high. I don't know. I mean, it's still, I'm at 70% on some of these cores. Frustrating.